Bros, and welcome to this Halloween special episode of the All Bros.
Ooh, that was awful.
That was terrible. So this is our Halloween special. We are going to be breaking down the original 1978 Halloween movie.
Yeah, The Night He Came Home.
Hell yeah. This episode is getting released on Halloween, so happy Halloween, everyone.
Yes, happy Halloween. Happy safe Halloween.
Happy safe Halloween.
Never thought I'd have to say that, but
Yeah, no
happy
joke.
safe Halloween.
Yeah. So for this special episode, we are just going to be breaking down the original 1978 Halloween. We're not
John Carpenter.
Yeah, we're not going to do any of our normal stuff because this is a bonus episode. So
we can't predict the future.
yeah, unfortunately. So with that, if you are new to our breakdown system, we have split movies into 8 different categories that we individually grade to come to a final All Bros score, or an All Bros letter grade. So the 8 categories that we grade are story, writing, acting, character development, effects, music, costumes, and then at the very end we give it our own personal grade, which gives us our average, it gives us a percentage, and then it translates that into a letter grade.
Yep.
Yeah. So with that, Rose is going to read us the synopsis for Halloween, and then we'll discuss the movie from there. If you have not seen Halloween, boo on you.
Yeah, the hell's wrong with you? The greatest horror film ever made. At least to me it is.
Oh, we'll find out. Because we've graded a lot of horror movies.
Caleb, all I'm saying is if this score's lower than A Nightmare on Elm Street, you're about to catch these hands.
What? Why would that be my fault?
I'm just saying.
You can't give it all 100, asshole.
Like hell I can't.
All right, well, this might be the last episode of the All Bros as well.
You bitch.
All right, getting into it.
So,
Rose.
On October 31st, 1963, on Halloween night in the fictional small town of Haddonfield, Illinois, 6-year-old Michael Myers inexplicably stabs his older sister Judith to death with a kitchen knife in their home and is incarcerated at Smith's Grove Sanitarium. 15 years later, on October 30th, 1978, Michael's psychiatrist, Dr. Samuel Loomis, and his colleague, Marion Chambers, arrive at the sanitarium to escort Michael to court. Michael escapes by stealing their car and returns to Haddonfield, killing a mechanic for his coveralls, as well as stealing a white mask, a rope, and knives from a local hardware store. The next day on Halloween, high school student Laurie Strode drops off a key at the still unoccupied and I don't even know the word, and dilapidated?
Sure.
Okay. Myers' home, her father is trying to sell. Michael stalks her throughout the day, and she notices, but her friends Annie Brackett and Linda Vanderklok dismiss her concerns. Loomis arrives in Haddonfield in search of Michael and finds Judith's tombstone missing from the local cemetery. He meets with Annie's father, Sheriff Lee Brackett, and they both investigate Michael's house, where Loomis tells Sheriff Brackett of the danger Michael poses. Sheriff Brackett is doubtful of Michael's danger and goes to patrol the streets, while Loomis waits at the house, expecting Michael to return. Later that night, Laurie babysits Tommy Doyle while Annie babysits Lindsay Wallace across the street, unaware that Michael has followed them. Michael also kills the Wallace's dog. Damn, Michael.
Bastard.
When Annie's boyfriend Paul calls her to come and pick him up, she takes Lindsay over to the Doyle house to spend the night with Laurie and Tommy. Before Annie can leave, Michael, who hid in the backseat of her car, strangles her and slits her throat. Soon after, Linda and her boyfriend Bob Sims arrive at the Wallace house. After having sex, Bob goes downstairs to get a beer for Linda, and Michael stabs him to death. Michael then poses as Bob in a ghost costume and confronts Linda, who teases him to no effect. Annoyed, Linda calls Laurie, but Michael strangles her to death with the telephone cord just as Laurie picks up. Meanwhile, Loomis discovers the stolen car and begins searching the streets. Suspicious, Laurie goes over to the Wallace house and finds the bodies of Annie, Bob, and Linda, as well as Judith's headstone, in the upstairs bedroom. Laurie cowers in the hallway where Michael suddenly appears and attacks her, causing her to fall backwards on the staircase. Laurie narrowly escapes and flees back to the Doyle house, where she gets Tommy to wake up and let her in. Michael gets in and attacks her again, but she keeps him at bay by stabbing him with a knitting needle, a coat hanger, and his own knife, temporarily knocking him out each time, then sends Tommy and Lindsay to go to a neighbor's house down the street and have them call the police. Loomis sees Tommy and Lindsay running from the house and goes to investigate, finding Michael and Laurie fighting upstairs. During the fight, Laurie rips Michael's mask off, making him hesitate and put it back on. Loomis shoots Michael 6 times, knocking him off the balcony. Agreeing with Laurie that Michael is the boogeyman, Loomis walks to the balcony and looks down to see that Michael has vanished. Unsurprised, he stares off into the night as Laurie begins to sob. Michael's breathing is heard during a montage of locations he had recently been, indicating he could be anywhere.
Oof.
Chills.
This is a good movie. Super fun. It's well, not necessarily fun.
I was like,
it's a very intense movie.
Yes.
And
I feel really makes it tense, and we'll kind of get to like kind of this. I'm going to touch more upon this in the score, but when John Carpenter first like submitted this movie for it to get released, they said, "Okay, you got a horror movie or you got a scary movie that's not even scary," and so he had to. I forget how long it took him to write the soundtrack for the movie, but it didn't take him long. He threw it together pretty fast, and him adding like all the like when Michael like opens the door and it's just like da 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 or like shit like that, it freaking adds tension to this movie, and I freaking love it. Just yeah, I'm sorry, I just freaking love this movie.
Yeah, it's a super good one. It's not hard to tell why this is a classic.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, it's not.
But I do feel like there are maybe a few slow parts. Dude, why do you look at me so intensely?
I'm sorry, I had to. Oh, that was funny.
Like, I just feel like there's times where it seems to drag on a little bit, and you just kind of want it to get on with the story.
Okay.
And specifically, it's maybe when we're not quite when we're learning about like Laurie, but it's more when Michael's being a creep and watching kids at the school.
That's fair, but I feel that still has that scene kind of to me has one of the most effective jump scares is when the kid, one of one of Lonnie's friends like comes running down the steps and all of a sudden like Michael grabs him, like it still scares the shit out of me. It still like abrupts me, and then like the kid, I love how the kid just stares up at him for a minute and then takes off either way.
Yeah, well, it was the late 80s or the late 70s.
Yeah, and
so
it is Halloween, so like when you see someone in a mask, like, are you really gonna be that like surprised?
No, but I think it scares us now specifically because if we were that young and an adult grabbed us,
yeah,
tried to manhandle us like that, we would flip out. I think back then it was just common practice to get hit by someone you didn't know.
Stranger danger, stranger danger.
Yeah, but you do get terrified that Michael's going to bushwhack that kid.
You do. Thank goodness he doesn't kill any young children in this movie.
Or any of his movies, I don't believe.
No. I know.
Does he bushwhack a kid?
No. Well, actually, no. Technically, he does. In 2018's Halloween, he strangles that one kid in the car.
What?
Yeah, you remember when the bus crashes?
Was that a young kid?
Yeah, he was only like 10. Yeah.
I need to watch that movie again.
Yeah, you do.
I do not remember that.
And then, like when he first gets to Haddonfield, and he grabs the butcher knife and like he walks past that baby, everyone was like, "No, Michael, that is way too freaking far." But thankfully, he just stands there for a second and then he walks by. I feel that would have been way too far.
Yeah. You know, it'd been funny if they did like what they did in The Mandalorian and he just like lifts his finger out and like towards the baby.
Oh, shit.
Have you watched that yet?
No.
God damn it.
I'm sorry.
It's not that hard. Watch The Mandalorian.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Dude, you know how many times you've said that?
100?
A lot.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway.
It's gonna happen. Eventually.
Are you just waiting for season 2 to come out? Don't even lie. Do you even know when season 2 comes out?
It's this month, right?
You are the worst.
Is it this month or is it next month?
No, it's this month.
Ah, bitch.
By the time this episode comes out, it'll already be out.
Oh.
Yeah.
Don't I already know what I need to know? There's the Mandalorian and then there's the child. Isn't that all I need to know?
I'm like 5 seconds away from stabbing you. Anyway, pacing issues. There are, I think, a few moments that have some pacing issues for me.
Okay.
I do feel like they kind of linger on Lori a little bit while she's babysitting. At times for a little long.
She is the main character.
I know she's the main character, but there's just times where it's like nothing is really going on with her.
Okay.
And they keep cutting to her and it's like still nothing, and all the shit's happening across the street.
Okay.
But I mean, once it gets into it with Lori, that's like when shit really hits the fan, that's when it gets like super good. And I think this movie has a lot of really good creative kills.
It does. I love when Annie is about to get killed. She gets into her car and she sees like the fogged up window. She's just like runs her finger across the front, and then all of a sudden, yeah, Michael just comes from the back and strangles her to death.
Yeah, I love that one. I also really liked what he did with the headstone.
Oh yeah,
that was nuts.
That was really cool. Or Bob's classic stabbing him to the door.
Yeah, with one knife.
Someone posted a meme. Who's at this? Okay, so I mean, how much do you remember this movie?
I watched it fairly recently.
Okay.
I think I watched it last Thursday.
Nice, awesome. Yeah, I watched it again a couple days ago. Okay, do you remember the part when Bob and what's the other friend's name? It's not Annie. It's Anyway, she's like, okay, first off, we're gonna go upstairs. She's like saying all this planning. Like Bob's like, okay, gotcha. First of all, I'm gonna take your clothes off, and then second of all, you're gonna take my clothes off, and then we'll take Lindsay's clothes off. Okay, I got it. And just like thinking about it nowadays, you know, like people will be like, okay, you know, that's gross, it's a kid and all this shit. I mean, back then it was funny. But someone posted a meme that said,
was it though?
I mean, he didn't actually mean it. He was drunk. He was joking. But the part, someone posted a meme with him stabbed to the wall, and it's just like, it was at this moment Bob realized he would not be taking Lindsay's clothes off.
Oh, that's messed up.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
That's pretty good, though.
Yeah, right? But, I mean, overall, I think what I love is that with the character of Michael, the story just really focuses on he's just a 6-year-old kid that just snapped one day.
I don't even necessarily think that he snapped. It's just he was just like, I wonder what this is like.
Yeah, because honestly, when he like goes out onto back outside and his parents pull up, and the dad's just like, Michael, and pulls off his mask, like you see like a look of like, what the hell did I just do?
That I disagree with you on that look.
Okay, like
It's not necessary. I don't think it's a look of anything. It's not a look of remorse. It's not a look of like being stunned. It's just a look. Like he's just standing there. Like, and I think that's what's so terrifying about Michael.
And I
He's
think that's
not
kind of like why Dr. Loomis says he realized that there was literally nothing left, no conscience, no nothing. He literally was the. He never said like he was the devil, but he said he had the devil's eyes, and just I just love that he said like there was literally nothing left. Michael's just a presence.
Yeah, like you can justify that and just say that Michael is a shell.
Yeah.
He doesn't have like feelings or emotion or any of that kind of stuff. Like, because even in like the 2018 version, he doesn't have like emotion.
No.
He does like he gets things happen around him. Like when that one dude pulls his mask out, he doesn't react really. Like he kind of like turns his head to maybe look at the mask, but he doesn't react. At least not in any significant way.
No, he's just like, "Oh, gimme."
Yeah, but in this, it's an emptiness.
Yeah.
There's like it's not. I think that's what's so scary about Michael, is there's no reason for him to kill.
No,
Like it's not a revenge thing. It's just killing.
Yeah. And
there's no.
And I don't want to touch upon this yet because we're gonna review Halloween 2018 until before
we get to it.
Yeah, right before Halloween Kills comes out. But I just want to touch on something really quickly. Like in that one, you know, like Laurie's been traumatized for 40 years and just all this shit, and you know she's focused her time on making sure that Michael never got to do what he was able to do in 1978. And when he finally escapes, you know, like I know, like some people are like, you know, like, oh, he's like totally gonna go after Laurie and all this shit. And if you watch it a couple times, you're like, no, he's honestly just walking around Haddonfield, just killing people. The only way he ends up at Laurie's house is because of Dr. Sartain. That's the only reason he ends up there. So it's really sad.
He can give two shits.
Yeah. So it's really sad to think that Laurie dedicated her 40 freaking years of her life to this man who doesn't give two shits about her. Like, he's just like, you were just another victim. Yeah, you got away, but I really don't give a shit.
Yeah, it's kind of like who are you? And then she just being like that. Like, that's a whole... Isn't that the whole thing, like, with the opposite of love? Like, everyone assumes that the opposite of love is hate, but it's not. The opposite of love is apathy.
Yeah.
And that's what he is. He's just an apathetic character. He gives no shits.
Nope.
Like, he just wanted to kill.
Yeah, that's all that Michael wants to do.
Yeah. For what reason? We have no freaking clue.
No. But I think that's what makes Michael so special, is because, like, no one can get inside his brain. Even Dr. Loomis couldn't, and he spent how many freaking years with him?
A lot.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I dislike so much, because, like, this whole concept of Michael being a shell and almost, like, inhuman. Like, he's just not, like, humanistic at all. And I think that's, like, been my biggest issues, and I think I've stated this before, about his mask. I don't like seeing his eyes with the mask.
That's fair, and I feel like a lot of movies try not to show the mask, but some unfortunately did, like Halloween H2O. Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah,
but I feel the original and also the 2018 did a really good job of making sure that you just saw black, because like Dr. Loomis says, he has the blackest eyes, the devil's eyes.
Yeah.
So
And that, like, it just makes him more, like, seeing his eyes make, like, and it's so funny, like, just how important the eyes are in
Yeah.
people. When you don't see the eyes, the whatever, it's an entity.
Yeah.
Like with the Mandalorian, there's almost something like inhuman about him until you see his mask off, and it humanizes the character. You shouldn't humanize Michael because he's not human.
yeah.
He has no feelings. He is a shell. Like, there's nothing. And I love that they pulled that off with this.
They really did.
Like,
The only
'cause,
thing,
I mean,
like-
you do see his face.
You do.
But then he, like, stops what he's doing to put
Yeah.
it back on.
Yeah.
And then once he does that, then he continues what he was after.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if that's like a psychological thing. Because in the sanatorium, he doesn't have a mask. And it
No.
seems like they've had no real issues with him.
Yeah.
And maybe it's the same with Michael. Like, he feels when he doesn't want to be human. So he puts on a mask to, I don't know. That's so frustrating about Michael because he has no motive whatsoever.
No.
Like, it's hard to be like, oh, this is why he does this, but you don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just like putting on his real face to go kill. Or maybe the mask is to hide the humanity in him. Because they have no issues with Michael until he throws the mask on.
Yeah.
And then once he has, like, because has he ever killed someone without a mask?
He technically has. In Halloween 2018. He kills the...
Shit.
Because, remember, after he gets sorry we keep bringing up the 2018 one. I know we're talking about the original here. But after he gets the coveralls from the mechanic in the gas station, he, spoiler alert for Halloween 2018, he kills the two journalists to get his mask back. And, during those some scenes, you never see, like, you hardly ever see his eyes in Halloween 2018. The only time you really see it is the one messed up eye, because Laurie stabbed him with the coat hanger in this one, the original. But yeah, just like, I feel that's like the standout when he killed somebody without his mask, is when he beat the shit out of those two. But I love that scene. So,
me too.
Sorry.
Anyway,
back to Halloween.
Yeah, back to this Halloween.
Sorry.
It has some pacing issues.
I can give you that.
The overall story, though, is not bad.
It's not. I don't know. I really don't have a lot of problems with the story. But I can definitely agree with you. There are some pacing issues. Like, do you feel like maybe when Laurie, Annie, and can't forget her,
And what's her face?
Yeah, are walking home from school on Halloween, do you feel that kind of goes on a little bit too long?
I think that's one of those scenes. Yeah,
Okay.
There's a few that you could crop down.
Okay.
Once the like expositional dialogue is over, cut to the next scene.
Yeah. Okay. I can give you that.
And I think that's something that, just because we talked about it, is Nightmare on Elm did really well.
Yeah.
Once the expositional dialogue was over, it moved on.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where that failed. Like, because once it got to this point where, with Halloween, where it's just nothing is happening.
Okay.
Nothing that was said was leading the story in a certain direction. It was talking to be talking.
Yeah.
And I've made it very clear I dislike that a lot in movies.
Yes, Caleb has.
Like, once you've gotten the exposition done, move on. Unless what you're doing is leading the story somewhere, move on.
All right, fair enough.
Like, I don't like wasted words.
All right, so then what are you sitting at for the story?
The pacing issues bring it down significantly for me. But I'm still fairly on the high side, I would say. I'm like in the mid-80s.
Like 85?
Yeah.
Okay, I can give you an 85.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You're not going to throw a bitch fit?
No, I'm not going to throw a bitch fit.
So, what were you, like, what was your ideal?
I was actually thinking 85 as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Jeez.
I know.
Didn't think that was going to happen.
I know, right?
All right, next up we got writing.
I don't know about you, but I'm going to point out the most... it's funny, but it's annoying lines is that... Okay, I got to know her name.
Dude, that's pissing you off so much.
It really is. Linda. How often she says totally?
Oh my gosh.
Ugh.
Yeah, I am just going to say it right now. Writing is below the story.
Oh shit, okay.
There's just so much wasted dialogue.
I think that's the most wasted dialogue. Everything that they wrote for Dr. Loomis, I think is gold.
I think so too. I absolutely agree. It's just all of the dumb bullshit.
Or when what was it? I forget. Yeah, I forget what Annie's talking about. And Lori, she's just like shit, and Annie's just like, oh, I have a place for that. And Laura's just like, no, I forgot my science book. And
like, shut up.
And I love Linda's just like, oh, I'm always forgetting my science book and my math book and my English book. Well, who really needs books anyway? I'm just like, oh my god. Okay, I get, like, you are really bringing out the high schooler in you guys, but holy shit, please stop.
To the writing room, overkill. And to Linda, shut the hell up. You're ditzy, we get it. You're not book smart.
No. I do love, though,
she
when...
aggravated the living shit out of me, dude. When she, like, every time we've watched this, because we've watched this a decent amount of times.
We have.
I think the last time I watched it was my 5th or 6th. And this was like, but it's just... Linda, shut up, you dumb bitch.
I'll give you this. I'll say one of my favorite lines from Annie is when Lori's saying, like, oh, she sees someone behind the bushes. So Annie goes to check it out. And she's just like, Lori, dear. She calls her over and she doesn't see anybody because she says, like, oh, it's Ben Tramer. He wants to talk to you. And doesn't see anybody. She's just like, oh, Lori, scared another one away.
Dude, that's another thing. Like, when she's just like, when Lori's looking forward, sees Michael, and she's like, hey, do you see him? And they look, and then you see Michael move, and they're like, I didn't see anyone. What?
Bitch, you lying. You lying.
Yeah, like, they could have cut that different, where maybe you see Michael and then you hear Lori say, hey, do you guys see that? While he's moving, and then they look, and they're like, I didn't see it. Like, that would make more sense than them looking and then him moving.
Like, what?
The writing is not strong.
Okay.
It is not.
The question is, though, how not strong is it? And I swear if you put it below an 80.
I'm like high 70s.
You bitch.
Are you going to disagree with me?
I
Linda tears this movie down.
Okay, yes, Linda tears this movie down, but what I feel saves it is the writing for Dr. Loomis, and also I think the writing actually for Laurie Strode is very solid as well.
It's pretty solid, but how often do they speak, Rose?
Laurie's the main character, so Laurie speaks a lot.
I feel other people talk more than her. I think
I
Linda talked more than her.
I disagree.
I think you need to watch it again.
I don't think I do. I've seen this movie like 50 freaking times.
Fine, if you won't let me go below 80, I'm putting it at an 80.
Okay, deal.
Frickin' bastard. Alright, next up we got acting.
Okay, so we agreed that we're going to rate Donald Pleasance as Dr. Samuel Loomis and Jamie Lee Curtis as Laurie Strode.
Yes, we can't really do Michael, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, Nick Castle and everybody else who had a part playing Michael, good job. You did a great job. But
it's... We focus on speaking roles.
yes. And as much as everyone wants Michael to speak, which I don't, but...
Nah, that would humanize him too much.
Yes, exactly. But anyway, okay, should we start with Laurie or Loomis?
I say Loomis just because Laurie is the main character.
Okay. That sounds good to me. Alright, so, overall, Donald Pleasance. What'd you think of him?
I really liked him. I think his insights into Michael were intriguing.
They really were.
And it's just good character building for Michael as a whole. I don't know. I don't know if Michael would be more terrifying without the description of him or without the characterization that we get from Loomis. I think part of me thinks like you would just be wondering why does he do this the entire movie
Yeah.
if we didn't get Loomis's exposition on him.
Because like he said many times, he's the embodiment of pure evil.
Right.
That's what Michael Myers is.
But I also could see you being more terrified of him without that exposition as well.
Okay.
It's just it's
a toss-up?
It's a toss-up on on what side of the coin that would land.
Okay, that's fair.
Because I could see the argument for both sides.
Yeah.
Like, being like, okay, well, like, this is confusing. Like, who is this character? What's his deal? And blah, blah, blah. And then the other side of being like, this is freaking nuts, dude. Like, he hasn't talked a bit.
I'll say one thing that I think is the kind of the weirdest line that Loomis says in the movie, but also, like, just makes me giggle every time I do it. When he's guarding the Myers house and Lonnie and some of his friends come up and they dare him to go up there, and he's by the bushes and he goes, "Lonnie, get your ass away from there." And they start running off, and he's freaking proud of that, and he just gives himself like a little like a big old smile, and it's really funny.
Okay, Loomis, it was funny, but was it that funny?
Yeah. But the overall, like, Donald Pleasance, like, I think, yeah, he was like the only like big name star that John Carpenter was able to get for this movie, and kudos to Donald Pleasance for being willing to be in this student film, because phenomenal job in this, and I'm really glad that he continued as the franchise went on, even though the movies got worse. And I really hate that his last movie was Halloween 6.
Yeah.
But anyway, just superb acting. The way he describes Michael is honestly gives me goosebumps, if I'm being honest, and just I really don't have anything but good things to say about his performance.
I'll give you that.
For me, I'm at a solid 90.
Damn
it.
I might be okay. I'm a little bit lower than you.
Okay.
Just on the cheese factor.
Okay.
With some of the stuff that he says.
Okay.
And it's specifically the get your ass out of here. So
I shouldn't have brought that up.
Minus, so if I'm cheese factor alone, I'm down to like an 86.
Damn. Okay.
Just because, like, I don't know, there's just other scenes I feel like could have been done better.
Yeah.
And I'm chalking it up to him just because there were some deliveries that were a little off, but it very well could have been other factors.
Okay.
But I don't know that for sure just because I wasn't part of the production, obviously.
Yeah.
So I'm chalking it up to him.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm at like an 86. But if you're like set at 90, 88.
Yeah, I was actually gonna recommend that. I can give you 88.
Okay.
All right. Jamie Lee Curtis as Laurie Strode, which this was her first movie.
That is awesome.
I know she knocked it out of the park. Phenomenal. This is where she truly became a scream queen. Because, damn, she could scream.
Oh yeah. She did really good.
She really did. She did a great job playing, just kind of like a normal teenager in the 80s, where her friends are kind of assholes to her. I'm sorry.
Freaking Linda.
Linda. No, not really Linda. I actually like Linda and Laurie together. Linda's not really that mean to Laurie. It's Annie who's a freaking bitch to Laurie. Like, I'm like, Laurie, why the hell are you still friends with her? She likes to, she'll, raise you up sometimes, but then she'll, shoot you down, the next minute. Like, come on, Laurie.
It's like freaking Regina.
Oh, Regina George?
Yeah, Regina George from Mean Girls.
Oh, gosh. I love what, Karen, she's just like, I can't go out. I'm sick. Boo, you whore.
Gosh, we need to add Mean Girls on our list sometime.
Yes, please.
That'd be hilarious.
I totally want to break that down.
Anyway.
Dude, should we break that down the weekend of Valentine's?
That would be hilarious.
Let's do it.
Anyway. Gosh, where were we?
Laurie.
Annie.
Yeah,
stupid.
Yeah.
But yeah, Laurie. Yeah, I think she played more normal than any of the other. I think everyone else kind of overacted.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
And it kind of bummed me out a little bit because with everyone else overacting,
yeah,
overperforming, it made Jamie Lee Curtis's performance seem underwhelming.
I can give you that.
And I feel like if they would have just dialed it back a little bit, it would have evened everyone out.
Yeah.
And her performance would stand out a lot more than it did.
That's fair.
Which is so unfortunate.
It is.
That something like that kind of outside factor can mess with the main character.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Because it's almost like I feel like someone that doesn't understand everything that's going on would almost prefer Annie or Linda as the main character.
That's a very good point.
And it sucks because Laurie's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
And it's difficult to judge her because of that, but it is one of those factors where you're just like, oh, well, these people are a little bit more interesting.
Yeah. Okay, I can give you that.
So, that being said, I still think she is fairly high. I would put her above Loomis.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Probably by a point or two. So 89, maybe 90.
I'm good either way, whichever you want to go for.
I'll go 89 because I don't think she's quite up there yet.
Okay.
Just because, being her first film and everything.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough.
All right, and that averages our score out to an 88.5 for acting.
Not too shabby.
Not too bad at all. All right, next up we got character development, which we're going to chalk up to logic because this is a horror film.
I feel for kind of just it's a basic guy kills people with a knife. When it comes to logistics, not right. Is that what I'm going? Logistics.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's definitely not out of the ordinary. Like this shit happens.
Yeah. It's definitely grounded in reality, I would say.
Absolutely.
But Michael is, I would almost say, supernatural in a way. Borderline, because he got shot 6 times.
Yeah, fair.
That's like the one like outlandish thing in this, that he survived that.
Yeah.
If he's a normal human being.
Alright, fair.
Now, them setting the continuity that he is somewhat supernatural in the future makes sense that he would survive that. But
that got retconned when Halloween 2018.
Right.
Yeah.
But this is as its standalone.
Yes, yeah.
So, if you wanted to say that Michael was a supernatural entity, you could.
Yes.
And get away with that.
But I don't like saying that.
But if you are setting this in reality, it's difficult. Whichever way affects the score a little bit. So I would say if you are setting this in reality, with all the kills, I think the coolest one, my personal favorite, is the freaking headstone.
Yeah, I can give you that.
Like, I love the theatrics of that.
That is a very good kill.
Second, I would give to the being knifed to the wall.
That's my favorite Bob's, because I just love when he does his like classic head tilt and he's like examining his work and giving himself a pat on the back.
Yeah, and then so was it Annie that was the headstone, or was that Linda?
No, Annie's the one that's laying on the bed below the headstone.
Okay, so Linda's the one that gets her throat slit.
No. Annie still gets her throat slit, but if you're talking about like
in the car.
Yes, yeah. But she's also the one that's laying in front of the headstone on the bed when Laurie walks into the room.
So wait, so how does Linda kick the bucket?
Linda is choked to death by the phone cord.
Oh, that's right.
And then Laurie finds her in the closet.
Okay, yeah. That one I would say is my favorite reveal.
Okay.
Because that one is like, oh shit.
Yeah. Okay.
Kill, I would put it third.
That's fair.
But yeah, all of those, like the logic of that, because it's, if you set this in reality, the fact that you can stab someone to the wall and they stay up there, not very likely.
No.
Especially because the knife was going up and down.
Yeah, true.
So it would have the weight would have just slit through him more until he was touching the ground, until the weight was a little bit more leveraged.
Yeah.
So if you're setting this in reality, I would put this maybe at like an 80.
Okay.
If you're going for the supernatural, I would put this around 86. So I will kind of even it out and go to like 83.5.
Okay, I can give you 83.5.
Yeah?
Yeah, alright.
Alright, next up we got effects.
I mean, there's not really a lot, but I feel they still do hold up.
I think they do.
Yeah.
Honestly, the only one that I feel doesn't hold up is the opening when Michael kills his sister. Just because the stabbing is...
I'll give you that, and also especially considering that... I mean, you know that who did that whole scene, right? Do you know who did that?
No.
So it was actually Deborah Hill. So that's actually not a kid doing that. And you can kind of tell, like, because the height-wise, way too tall to be a kid. But yeah, so it's Deborah Hill who helped John Carpenter write Halloween, and I think she was the co-director as well. But I can agree with you there, especially when he's stabbing her and then he looks over at his arm. I'm just like, oh, like who? Like he's just like, oh yeah, that's some good stabbing motion.
Yeah, that was a bit much, and I think that was just a lot of. I think that was just in there for unnecessary nudity.
That's fair. I can give you that.
Other than that, Linda's kill was pretty good. I like the reveal. Like the reveal was amazing
Yes,
for me.
it was.
Then you said Bob.
Yeah, Bob.
Bob's kill was badass.
I loved that one.
That was freaking nuts.
Yeah.
And then Annie's. I think Annie's looked really good.
Yeah, it's simple, but you know,
it's a simple effect, but a very effective one.
Yeah.
So it's hard to. I don't know. Like I think they held up really well.
They really did.
Like I said, the only one that brings it down is the opening kill.
Yeah, I can actually agree with you there.
But with I don't know. Like I don't know how much that should bring it down because everything else was amazing. I think the stunt work between Laurie and Michael, because I mean they fought quite a bit.
Yeah, like the whole when she's in the closet and like she stabs him with the coat hanger, that was really good.
Yeah, I feel like that could have aged really bad, but it looked like he actually like got stabbed.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
You're just like, ooh, shit.
Yeah. And then or even when they're downstairs, like by the couch, like when he pops up and stabs her, he stabs her shoulder. That still looks really good.
Yeah.
Her poking him in the neck with one of the knitting needles. Like besides the opening of Michael stabbing his sister, everything else like actually really holds up.
It does.
And this is out of 10, right?
No.
Out of 100, sorry.
Yeah.
Like 85?
I can give you 85 on that.
Okay. Unless you want to go higher.
Honestly, I might go up to like 87.
Okay. I can give you 87.
All right. Next up, we got music.
If you don't let me give this 10, I'm going to kick your ass.
Are you shitting me?
Yeah.
It's not a 10.
It's a 10.
It is a solid 9.
It's a 10, bitch.
No, it is not a 10. I am putting my foot down. This is not a 10. Okay, is it
Okay, tell me why it's not a 10.
Because, okay. His score is amazing.
Okay.
Michael's score is amazing. They used silences really, really well.
Okay.
But the rest of the music is not.
Laurie's theme? Like the da 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 da. When she's first walking to school, oh bitch, I'm gonna throw hands with you.
Well, I'm a solid 9. If you,
all right,
rock paper scissors.
Yeah.
All right, let's. Damn it! Suck it, bitch.
Oh,
9.
Shit. You bitch.
Damn, that was awesome. All right, next up we got costumes.
Pretty solid for the late 70s. Michael's costume is fantastic. I love just the simplicity of blue coveralls, black boots, and then like I love that the mask is so simple because they literally just bought a William Shatner Star Trek mask, cut the sideburns, dyed the hair brown and shuffled it, made it messy, and then painted it white and then just widened the eye holes. And I think they made the eyebrows a little more what's the word? Poke out? Maybe?
Prominent?
Yeah, prominent, thank you. So it's like it's so simple to do, but the mask looks scary as hell.
It absolutely
It's
did.
so effective and I love it to death.
I would absolutely agree with you on that. For some reason, I heard that they flipped the mask inside out. Is that true?
Nope. Mm-hmm.
Oh. Yeah,
Where'd you hear that?
I have no idea.
Oh.
I just remember, like, I think it was on a podcast. I forget which one, but I think someone said that they flipped it inside out.
No, they never did
They
that.
might not have been talking about Halloween, but yeah, I forget.
Yeah, no, they never did that.
Yeah, the clothes for the rest of the cast were good. They fit in with the times.
Can we talk about? I just want to put out that Dr. Loomis's outfit, especially his classic. I don't know what not suit coat, but like his long trench coat, freaking on fleek. Like, come on.
Yeah, and honestly, whoever decided to put Jamie Lee Curtis in those pants, thank you. Dude, her ass looked amazing.
Oh shit! I can't deny that, but
Dude, it looked good.
Oh shit!
Like, it's almost distractingly good. Like, honestly, if
like towards the end, like when she's like asking Tommy to open the door, you're just like, "No, Tommy, open it a little slower." Like come on.
dude, but Jamie Lee Curtis has a nice ass.
She does.
Honestly,
she really does.
Out of all, like, because I notice butts. I'm a freaking butt guy until the day I die.
I am too. Don't worry.
She is her ass in Halloween. Top 5.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit!
Yeah, I think,
Like, we talking just top 5 movies, or like top 5 you've like in movies and real life you've ever seen?
movies.
Okay.
Movies. Because I've seen some really good ones in real life. Yeah, there's a couple more that I can't think of off the top of my head. Honestly, maybe top 3.
All right.
But someone else that's in that field
Yeah.
is Sally Fields in Smokey and the Bandit.
I've never seen that movie.
Oh, you're missing out, dude.
Oh shit.
Anyway, yeah. So, whatever score you want to give this, I'll agree with.
I'm gonna go with a 9.
A 9?
Yeah.
I will absolutely agree with you on that.
All right.
Because Michael's costume and Jamie Lee Curtis's ass in those jeans earns it on its own.
All right.
Alrighty. Last up, personal grade.
So, Kale's probably going to kill me of how high I rate this movie. But overall, this is my favorite horror film of all time. I will never get tired of watching this movie. Michael Myers, to me, is the greatest slasher character ever created. John Carpenter did amazing making this film. Jamie Lee Curtis is absolutely incredible as Laurie Strode. Donald Pleasance is absolutely incredible as Dr. Samuel Loomis. Everything about this movie to me is great. There are like some things that might have aged a little bit, but overall it's still a really, really solid horror film, and I'm giving it a solid 95.
Alrighty. When I first watched this movie, I did not think that I was going to enjoy it as much as I did. It's kind of the same thing that I had with Nightmare on Elm Street. I actually thought, so if we went back to before I've seen any of these movies, I thought that I was going to enjoy Friday the 13th the most.
Really?
Yeah, so if I would have put because we've done the 4 original, or talked about the 4 original movies. Because we haven't done Child's Play yet as a breakdown, which we'll get to eventually.
Yeah.
But if we're going off of that, what I thought my top, my order for these movies were going to be, I would have honestly said Friday the 13th, then Child's Play, then Nightmare on Elm, and then Halloween.
Wow.
But my top 4 now, or like my order now, I might have enjoyed Nightmare on Elm a little bit more than. So it's really close. It is really close. Like the margins are really close. But yeah, number 1 for me is Nightmare on Elm.
Sure.
Number 1.1 is Halloween. Then number 3 would be Child's Play, and then like 6 would be Friday the 13th.
Same. I mean, my order's Halloween, Child's Play, Nightmare on Elm Street, and then Friday the 13th.
Yeah, which I totally understand. But yeah, Michael Myers has easily become one of my favorite horror icons.
Hell yes.
Yeah, maybe not my. He's tied with Freddy.
Okay, that's fair. You know what? I can accept that answer.
Yeah.
Second Chucky. Or, what, third?
Third would be Chucky,
Okay.
yeah. And then Jason, just because I haven't seen everything that there is with Jason.
That's fair.
So maybe Jason might take Chucky's spot, but
As of right now.
as of right now, no.
Alright, fair enough.
So I'm not quite at a 95, but I am I'm fairly close. I'm sitting at a solid 90.
Okay, I can give you that.
Yeah, I liked it like because we both gave Nightmare on Elm 90.
Yeah.
I liked it just about the same.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, so I'm going to give it a 90.
Alright.
Think it more than deserves it. So averaging that out, that brings our personal grade to a 92.5. And you will be happy to know that it is higher than Nightmare on Elm.
Bitch, yes!
So our final score for Halloween is a B+.
Yes!
Yeah, it is sitting at a 87.06%.
Beat it by a percent.
Yep, by 0.1%.
Yeah, by 0.1%.
Yeah, don't get... Actually, no, it actually did beat it by a full point.
Bitch, yes. Bitch, yes.
Yeah, so
Sorry.
it is sitting at an 87.06. Nightmare on Elm is sitting at an 86.1.
Alright.
So every movie that I'm about to list off is a B+ movie, just to compare it to other movies that we've broken down. So we got 0.1% lower than Psycho.
That's fair. That is completely fair.
Yeah, it's a little. It's 2 points lower than Da 5 Bloods.
Okay.
It is 2 points lower than Ready or Not.
Okay. Fair.
Yeah. Same 2 points lower than both The Avengers and Black Panther.
Okay.
It is higher than Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Oh. Alright.
Yeah. 1 point lower than The Invisible Man.
Okay, that's not bad.
2 points lower than Knives Out.
Okay, fair.
It's about in line with The Lovebirds.
Alright.
Oh, actually, it is 1 point higher than The Lovebirds.
Alright.
Yeah, sorry. It is in line, though, with Parasite.
Fair.
It is 1 point higher than Frozen.
Bitch, yes. Take that, Elsa.
2 points lower than Rocketman.
Okay.
2 points lower than Spider-Man: Far From Home. Ooh, it's right in line with Detective Pikachu.
Alright. Not bad.
Yeah, Detective Pikachu is actually 0.3% higher.
Oh, shit. Alright.
It is 1 point lower than The Unicorn Store.
Okay.
I like that you have no comment.
I really don't, sorry.
1 point lower than How to Train Your Dragon 2.
Fair.
1 point higher than Captain Marvel.
Fair.
In line with How to Train Your Dragon.
Okay.
1 point higher than the Lego Movie 2.
Yeah, that's absolutely understandable.
And 2 points lower than both Dawn and Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
Okay, that's actually not bad.
Yeah, so that is all of our B+ movies.
Okay.
If you guys are interested in looking at our list for these movies, like our ranking system, what the percentages are, letter grades, and whatnot, you can find a link to that Excel sheet on our website, which we'll give you a link to here shortly. If you liked this Halloween special, you can find all of our other episodes on every format that you could, or every platform that you can find podcasts.
Yep.
We are damn near everywhere. I'm still discovering places that we are on to this day. People are like, "Hey, heard your, or listened to your episode." I'm like, "Oh, where you listen on?" And then they'll tell me some random place. I'm like,
That's a thing?
"Yeah." I'm like, "I didn't even know we were on that."
Hey.
But yeah, damn near everywhere. You can catch all of our episodes on YouTube. You can follow us on social media at Facebook, facebook.com/theallbros, Twitter and Instagram at theallbros. You can email us, theallbroschannel@gmail.com. Hit us up with episode ideas. If you want to answer our question of the weeks, which I typically post. Or if you want to join us on any episode that we do, we would love to have you on. So yeah, our website where you can find links to listen to the show, look at our grading system. You can go and look at the individual grades, or you could just look at the percentages and whatnot, whatever you want to do with that really, and links to everything else that we do. tinyurl.com/theallbros, and go check out the merch store on TeePublic. There's a link on our website.
Got some cool shit.
Yeah, we got some real cool shit. Working on changing some things around, hopefully. So, yeah, be on the lookout for that shit. Until Monday, so just a couple more days, and you get a new episode from us where we'll be breaking down Late Night.
Yeah.
Yeah, so look forward to that. And until next time, this has been the All Bros Podcast. I'm Caleb.
And I'm Jonathan.
And we'll catch you guys Monday. Deuces. Happy Halloween. Oh, what does Medea say? Boo, bitch. Or something. Someone says that. I don't know.
I don't know.